Doesn't she kind of look like the owner's daughter that died on her wedding day? Where her eyes move, they follow you.
It was reaching towards us, and it was getting bigger and bigger. It's pointy, shadowy figure, silhouette of a person. We heard distant children's voices.
Oh, one of those.
What's up with the flames? He goes into the forest with his dog and disappears.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Unfolding Hour. We're coming at you live on Friday the 13th. You thought spooky season was over? It's not over, okay? We're back.
Live and full of energy.
We are back with the spookiness of it all.
This is her element. This is literally what she lives for.
This is what I live for. Anything spooky, anything creepy, anything weird. That's always been my thing. Maybe it's the Scorpio in me. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but I've been watching freaking true crime since I was like 10 years old. So I guess that's not really spooky, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You catch my drift.
It's always spooky season for you.
It's always spooky season. But, you know, with all the Christmas lights and everything, you're kind of like, oh, you know.
But
the vibes aren't there around you. I felt it in my heart. But the sentiment wasn't expressed around me like it was in spooky season. So the fact that it's Friday the 13th in December, it's like, yes, thank you.
You get the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana.
Exactly.
You get
like I had my spooky
Christmas
season.
And spooky season.
November.
Yep.
Cool. Love November. But, you know, you get to that point where you're like, oh, I miss spooky season. I have to wait a whole year. But then you get one day in December that you check the calendar and it's Friday the 13th. And here we are. So we're going to bring you all the spookiness of the web.
Scary, good, really good stories. Some from the web.
Yeah.
And some personal. Which I'm excited to tell. I don't think I've ever told you one of my personal stories for some reason.
Exciting.
Because you know one of them, I'm pretty sure. But the other one, I've never really told you. And
I'm scared.
It's actually, I remember like writing it down in our script to make sure I have everything correct. Mm-hmm. Started freaking me out.
Great.
Yeah.
We love that.
And then I remembered something else. I'm like, whoa, this is getting really serious. I forgot about all this.
You know, for someone that loves spooky things, I don't think I've ever had any spooky... I don't have any spooky stories, you know that? I don't think I've ever had, you know, everyone has... Well, no, maybe not everyone. But a lot of people have, like, their little spooky story of something scary that's happened to them or a paranormal something. I've never had that I can think of. I don't think I've ever had that. So
maybe
I'm
right now.
For that. Hopefully.
Right now we have one. So there's a pickup truck that's been there for like... They're still there. They've been outside of our house, just parked there for 30 minutes or more now. Yeah. It's the middle of the night. It's like, what, 10 p.m. right now?
Yeah. So we might become our own spooky story.
Yeah, we might. I don't know.
But we might not live to tell the tale.
Yeah, so you guys might never see this, but it's kind of scary. I don't know what he's doing. They're just parked there for 30 minutes. Just
but fingers crossed, knock on wood, I get a spooky... Well, maybe not too spooky, but hopefully I get something spooky. Some spooky encounters in my life before I die.
I don't know about that, but okay. Before we get started, guys, we do want to give a little shout out. We just got our first merch. It's right here. You see our crew neck sweaters. They're extremely soft on the inside. We got our little mugs over here of the Unfolding Hour. Oh, that's good. And our hats, or no cap, as the kids say nowadays. All that is thanks to J&P Press. It's a local business, small business, and we decided to go with them. You know, support small businesses. Hashtag everyone if you can. We'll have their description or website down in the description. If you guys want anything to customize anything, they have our merch. If you guys want to purchase some, so yeah, check them out. They're really nice. And you had a shout out to give from someone from TikTok, right?
Yes, her name's Missy. She's been shouting us out to her followers. She's been great. Love her. Love you, Missy. Thanks for all the support.
Yeah, she's been awesome. You were telling me she's a mom and she's trying to make it on TikTok and she's got a lot of followers. So
yeah,
it's
love
awesome.
Her TikTok. Yeah, she's great.
That's what we have. The type of community we have on TikTok. It's great. So join us over there at the Unfolding Hour.
Yeah, I like to do little. Well, I did one today for a little behind the scenes of our
Yeah.
setup. I had to bring back my spooky setup that I had for Halloween. I thought I was going to be able to put up these decorations again until next year, but took all the Christmas decorations off the shelves, put the spooky ones back up for this episode. So,
A lot of work.
all right, let's get into it, shall we?
We shall.
You want to go for it?
I do. I actually wanted to start out, set the tone. And there's this subreddit called Two Sentence Horror.
Okay.
And it's basically people write posts of 2 sentences that are horror stories.
Okay.
And, short, simple, to the point, but they get you thinking. They get you a little scared. And I just scrolled through them, saw a couple of them. I thought they were really good to set the tone. There's one here from Growing Oneness. And I was excited to see my friend finally take his mental health seriously and start taking medication. Each pill he took dissolved my body and frayed my mind. But we both knew imaginary friends aren't supposed to last this long. So the person writing this is the imaginary friend of this insane, crazy person. Ooh.
Yeah, those just kind of make you feel.
Ooh. Here's another one. It might hit home since we have a kid.
Okay.
It's from ITFK00. It says, I tucked my child in a bed, and as I turned to leave, they said, Daddy, I think there's someone in my closet. When I opened the door to check, I only found an empty closet and a note pinned to the inside, written in my handwriting, she isn't real. Ooh, just reading that one actually. Ooh.
Ooh. Kind of gets you thinking a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then when it hits home, you're kind of like, ooh, okay.
Got 2 more for you. The fortune teller said the drinking would be the end of me, so focused on my health and quit alcohol forever. But just before I went under for a routine operation, I could smell the liquor on the wow. Difficult word. I could smell the liquor on the anesthesiologist's breath as he asked me to count backwards from 10.
Wait.
So the fortune teller told him, drinking will be the end of you. You will die because of alcohol. So he quit alcohol forever. But little did he know it wasn't going to be
that wasn't the problem.
Yeah. Last one is a trigger warning. Talks about suicide. So if you guys want to skip, I'll leave it in the description when you can fast forward this little part. But this one's from Mountain Band 2732. The only guilt the woman had was that she was going to leave her son in a world full of monsters like those who were filming her. Jump, her son commented on the grainy live stream of a woman standing on the guardrail of a bridge. She was live streaming her suicide, and her son had no idea it was her because it was so blurry. And he said, jump. I actually got full body chills from that.
These are they're not just I don't know. They're not just straightforward. They're a little bit, you have to think about them. They have some thought to them,
That's what I like about them.
Yeah.
They're, ooh.
I could never write that. That takes
it takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
Because, it's 2 sentences, but you got to fit so much in those 2 sentences. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then, I forgot actually there were 2 sentences until you told me just now. I know you said in the beginning, but when you were reading them, I just didn't really process that. And I'm like, wow. All that was said in 2 sentences. Yeah, that's crazy.
So much goes into it. It's awesome. And I don't know, it just kind of sets a tone. I mean, we've got the spooky ambiance here, and now I'm feeling a little scared. I mean, the pickup truck already did that for me.
Yeah.
He was already scaring me. But
yeah, he set the tone.
Do you want to go now? I know you have a couple stories.
I don't know. I feel like I always go first, but if you want me to go first,
no, I want you to go first because I have something juicy, and so I want to save it till the end.
Okay. So My first one is one that popped up. I was watching some YouTube videos and just creepy things, and there was one that talked about creepy things going on in Latin America. Just weird things, creepy things, unexplained things.
As things usually do in Latin America.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Latin America, but the spooky hit's different over there.
Yeah, for real.
So there's this wedding gown shop in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Okay.
And it's called La Popular, so the popular. I guess technically the popular girl, the popular woman in a way.
Yeah, it could be.
So if you happen to walk past the store, you'll notice that there's a very beautiful mannequin in the storefront, and she's modeling a wedding dress. I'm pretty sure they switch her out of wedding dresses, just kind of what's in style. And they call her La Pascualita. So the reason they call her that is because the owner's name is Pascuala Espars. So they called the mannequin Pascualita, basically meaning like little Pascualita, little Pascuala. Yeah. Sorry. So they first displayed this mannequin in 1930, and she's been displayed ever since. So she's been in the storefront since 1930. People walk by, see her, and admire just how beautiful she looks and how lifelike she looks. So there's a creepy rumor legend about her. So when she was first displayed, everyone in town started to talk about how realistic she looked. She didn't look like the other mannequins. People were like, wow, she looks so real. And not only that, but they also realized, hey, doesn't she kind of look like the owner's daughter that died on her wedding day due to a black widow spider bite? And they're like, you know what? She kind of does. So this rumor starts to spread around town, and they basically think that this lady preserved her daughter, embalmed her, whatever process, I'm not sure what the name for it is, and has been displaying her daughter, because this mannequin went up shortly, not too long after her daughter died. And you look pictures of the mannequin and the face, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, very realistic. It's not like any mannequin I've ever seen, that's for sure. But then you look at the hands, and that's what people really talk about, are the hands. Like, the hands literally have wrinkles on them. They look a little worn. They look a little purple in some places. And I don't know, it's just really freaky. I'm going to show you some pictures, and we'll add some pictures so you guys can see as well. Are you ready?
Oh, no, I'm already scared.
Are you? So this is what she looks like, her face.
Ooh. So this is something that's real. It's not even like a legend.
No. The legend is that
she could be
the daughter, the owner's daughter. But no, this is a real mannequin. No. If you go right now to the store, she's there.
That's not a mannequin. That is a embalmed death person. 100%.
Yeah. So let me show you her hands. I don't know if you can see very well.
No, I can definitely see it. It's very wrinkly. They look
like
kind of
her
old.
nails.
The nails are.
And they look like just hands.
I'm honestly
like real
getting freaked
hands.
out.
So, let me see. And then I had also a picture that shows her daughter. A picture of her daughter next to the mannequin. That literally looks like her just in the mannequin. She's like all done up, like they do with where they put makeup on them and stuff.
Even the hair.
So yeah, she's been displayed since 1930, and she's out there. She's rocking the wedding dresses. This is what she looks like in the front window. They even call it, so the name, they have the name on there, La Popular, of the wedding gown shop. And then at the bottom it says La Casa de Pascualita, because she's become so popular now, and everyone talks about her. And so she's been a staple in that town since 1930 because of pretty freaky things.
Is she still up there now?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah, I mean, she's never been taken down. Like, they've had her up since they put her up. They've taken her down, I think, to change her and stuff like that. But I don't know if this is true, but I read somewhere that only specific people are allowed to handle her. Sorry. There are only a certain amount of people that are allowed to handle her and, like, change her and, I guess, the upkeep of her. Because she's so old as well. I mean, I'm also thinking if she is really just a mannequin. So there's that.
We should go.
We should. I was actually thinking about that. I was like, that'd be pretty crazy.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But the people that handle her, obviously people can't see her legs because of the wedding gowns. But the people that handle her have said that even her legs have, like, veins. Like, you can see, like, veins on her leg. But obviously there's experts that are like, there's no way she's an embalmed corpse. Like, she would have to be in such a controlled environment for it to stay in perfect condition and all these things. But a lot of the employees say that they feel uneasy when they work around the mannequin. And there are some employees that are 100% convinced she's a corpse just because of... And that's crazy because they actually get to see her up close. I feel like once you see her up close, you're like, oh, yeah, no, she's not. But the people that see her, you're kind of like, I don't know.
Like, if the workers are saying that they're freaked out and that they believe it's the daughter, then, you know. Oof.
Sorry. Yes. But, so a couple of freaky things that they've supposedly people have caught her doing. And I watched a video, and obviously I don't know if it's real, but where her eyes move, they follow you. Like, I literally saw her eyes move.
Ooh.
And then that they'll see in the corner of her eye, like, her move positions. Sorry.
I think you need some drink from your unfolding hour mug.
Yes, I do.
She's like a real life Mona Lisa, where her eyes follow you.
Yeah. But the freakiest thing of all that I read that kind of was like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that image at all. Is that some people claim that they've seen her dance.
Ooh, no, that
in
is...
the store window. And I was like, oh, no. Ooh. No.
I'm getting so many goosebumps just now. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
So,
that being said, we definitely need to go over there and see it for ourselves.
Yeah, so
that would be so cool.
So that was all stuff that I saw just online, and then I looked up saw it also on Reddit that people were talking about it, and this guy named Chubby Ghost 3 was like, which is appropriate. Chubby Ghost 3, appropriate name for Friday the 13th episode.
Oh yeah, very true.
But so they were basically debating whether she was real or not, and he said the hands are what makes me think, or the hands are what makes me more inclined to buy this idea. There's clear purpling in the fingers, skin peeling / drying at the cuticles, and the nails are realistically embedded in the skin in ways I've never seen in a fake hand. This reminds me of my grandma's hands after she was embalmed, though she was less purple. So that's my thing. I think the hands are what really did it for me. Like, the face, I was like, wow, I've never seen a mannequin like that. But the hands, I was like, okay, there's something going on.
I keep seeing the mannequin now in my head. And
yeah, I'm never going to be able to get that picture out of my head.
I'm honestly going to have trouble sleeping tonight. I'm not even joking.
Oop, sorry. But, here's a better picture of her face. Because I don't know about you, but I've never seen a mannequin like this. I mean, the mannequins that you see are pretty just, there's generic, nothing really.
Blank.
Yeah.
Nothing, they never make them look like humans.
Right. This one looks, yeah. Especially the eyes. Something with the eyes, too.
Yeah, those eyes. I don't know. That just looks too...
And the thing, too, is, like, a lot of, like, I like to listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff about urban legends. And the thing that everyone says about urban legends is that there's always a little bit of truth there. There's always something there. It
started from somewhere.
Yeah, so... I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think about it and I'm like, okay, obviously it's not a body. Like, it would have to be in the most perfect condition. Yeah, but then, I mean, the world has seen crazier things.
That's true.
And then it's just... so much of a coincidence. All these little things, you
and
know.
it is Latin America.
It is Latin America. It gets crazy over there.
It really does.
Yeah, them Latin Americans don't play around with the spooky stuff. Like,
no, we don't.
Literally, a show exorcisms on the news. So, anyway.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. It's a whole other episode.
They be showing some crazy things. And every time it's, that's the devil. The devil's here, the devil's there.
Yep.
Any little news article is about the devil.
Yep. So anyway, so there's that. That's kind of the one that I kind of researched, a little topic. And the rest that I have are just kind of Reddit stories, spooky stories that I came upon. So I just kind of looked up like creepy stories, scary stories, that sort of thing. So on Ask Reddit, this was 10 years ago.
Jeez.
Somebody said, what is the creepiest, scariest, strangest, unexplained experience / story you've had, heard, or know? That literally sounds like all of my searches for Reddit.
You sure this wasn't 10-year-old you doing this, or 15-year-old you?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay.
So this one was posted by Leo the 5th. It's just a little short spooky story. So he said, this is a popular story passed on in our school. So a student just finished training, a sport I forgot, in the 9th floor of our sports center building. She rode the elevator alone and pressed the ground floor button. The elevator went down as expected, but stopped at the 8th floor and opened. She checked the floor. One was there. It also opened at the 7th, 6th, and eventually all succeeding floors. She checked after every floor, but no one was there. That's what I meant to say in the last one, sorry. But no one was there each time she opened the elevator. So the elevator opened again at the 2nd floor. She peeked outside. It was still empty. She then pressed the close button. It won't close. Instead, flashing at the top of the floor number was a word. It said overload. So there was something getting in the elevator with her on each floor.
I don't know about you, but I find elevators so freaking creepy.
Really?
They're so creepy.
Did you ever watch that scary movie called Elevator or Devil?
No,
what was it
Devil.
called? Devil, right?
Devil.
It was about people stuck in the elevator?
Yeah. And spoiler alert, don't listen to this next part, but it was the grandma, the old lady.
Yeah. I remember I watched it with my dad. My dad is was my scary movie partner. Yeah, because my mom was always scared to watch scary movies, and my brother was too young, and now he's kind of watching them with us, but my dad was always my scary story partner.
I used to watch with my brother and my dad.
Really?
I remember there was this one movie called Darkness Falls. Early 2000s movie. I've watched it again now that I'm older, and it's not that scary at all. But little 6-year-old me legit had a panic attack watching it.
Oh my.
And I don't have panic attacks or anything like that ever. Mm-hmm. I had a panic attack where I couldn't breathe. And my parents got really scared, and they were about to take me to the hospital because I literally could not breathe because of how scared I was of this movie. And it was just like a Tooth Fairy movie, basically. Like the Tooth Fairy, but it was supposed to be like this demon goes and takes your teeth and makes a mask out of the teeth or something like that.
Ooh,
yeah.
That
and
is
it's almost like a shadowy figure type of thing. But no, yeah, I had a panic attack.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it was. But like I said, I've watched it again now. It's not even scary.
That's like me the other day. We watched Sinister when we were at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this movie's so scary. This movie's so freaky. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be really scared. It was not. It didn't hit like the first time. But then again, it's been years and years and years. But I will say the flashback sequences were probably the scariest part. But the ending was not. It was not that scary. But
yeah.
I feel like that tends to happen. You watch it the first time and it's like the scariest thing ever, and then you rewatch it and you're like, oh, this isn't even that bad.
I still think it's like a 10 out of 10 movie though.
Sinister?
Yeah, it's just it's such a different idea and concept than all the other scary horror movies that were going on around at the time.
You're right. So my next one is also from Ask Reddit. And they said, Reddit, what is your most disturbing, scary, or creepy real story?
Ooh.
So this guy, they don't have their username on here anymore. It says deleted.
Oh, yeah.
So they say a few years ago, I was walking through the woods off the beaten track a bit, and I smelt this really empowering sweet smell. Being nosy, I pulled back the undergrowth to have a look and found a dead body. The guy had clearly been there a while and wasn't looking great, all swollen and green and black with various runny bits. The local wildlife had also been dining well for a few days. I called the police, who told me to wait with the body until they arrived.
What?
Being in the middle of nowhere, it took a while for them to arrive, and it got dark, and I was just sat there in the dark with him for a long time.
Absolutely not.
Trigger warning for suicide. It turned out he had committed suicide. For a long time afterwards, I had dreams about him, and he would talk to me, and not nice things. Mainly about how he was angry I had disturbed his resting place. And he wanted me to kill myself. Probably just my imagination, but all pretty disturbing at the time. He still turns up in my dreams from time to time, and no doubt will be tonight after typing this. I can't even imagine.
So the man committed suicide, and now he sees this guy in his dreams, nightmares actually, and he's telling him to commit suicide.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's freaky.
I can't even imagine coming upon a dead
A
body.
dead body? Yeah, I would have nightmares regardless.
That's wild. But yeah, he had to stay there with the body. I don't think I could do that. I feel like I would just, you know what? So sorry, I have to go. I'm not doing this.
Especially in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, at night. Like, I wouldn't even just be scared of the body. I'd be scared of all these animals, too.
Agreed.
Or whoever put the body there. Because at the time, you don't know what happened. No. The police are crazy. I would have left. Called an Uber.
My Uber's here.
Yeah. Sorry. Gotta go. Bye.
So, a reminder from Ask Reddit. I hadn't realized, but this other, on Ask Reddit, somebody said, people have read it. What are some of your unexplainable and creepy experiences? So, Sleepy Bear 3366911
Wow.
said, only had one that was truly beyond for me. I was 19 at the time. A buddy of mine was on leave in the USMC visiting. Going to sleep, I let him sleep in my bed, and I took the couch. The couch was one of those L-shaped sectionals. The short part of the L was at my feet, and there was an ottoman in front of the couch in that little area. Had one of those weird sleeps when I woke up before opening my eyes. When I opened them, I saw a creature standing right next to the ottoman, like within arm's length. There was a light on in the hallway, so it was like a silhouette from the light behind it. Not enough light from the street light to make it super clear from the window behind me. It was about 3 to 4 feet tall. All I can remember from its features is it had super greasy hair, covering most of its face. I saw it as soon as I opened my eyes, and I just closed my eyes back shut and turned around to face the back of the couch/window. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like the moment I saw it, my entire body was filled with terror/dread. As soon as I turned around, I heard like a loud whisper in my ear/thoughts.
No.
I saw you see me. Don't act like you didn't. Even more terrified, I just stayed silent, didn't move, and basically was praying until I eventually fell asleep. At some point, I heard my buddy wake up and use the bathroom and lay back down. I probably would have forgotten about it, except the next morning when eating breakfast. My friend mentioned how he woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and felt like the house was haunted. Gave me the heebie-jeebies. I've had sleep paralysis, lucid dreams, false awakened dreams, and this wasn't like any of those. The only truly supernatural thing I ever saw that I couldn't explain away.
Hell no.
I literally, when I read that, I literally got like a
mental image?
A mental image of it, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, my mental image isn't a good one.
No. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I've never had anything spooky like these stories happen to me. And maybe I listen to too many like spooky podcasts, and I feel like that's probably why I think that so many people have spooky stories. Maybe not that many people have spooky stories as much as I think, but I feel like everyone has one, and I don't.
I've got a couple.
Do you? Go ahead, take it away.
I don't know.
Didn't you have one when you were like a kid?
It's still ongoing.
Is it? Ooh.
For the most part.
Oh no.
Go
ahead.
So it all started in Ecuador.
Do tell.
We were born there. We were there. My brother and I were there until I was 3, and my parents were in the States, and they left us with our grandma, and my grandma was the one taking care of us. And all I remember, the first encounter, this was back to back. It was like a weekend or something. Back to back days, and let me give you a setup of our room. So our room was like, let's just imagine this is our room. Our bed is right here with the backboard of the bed to a window. So like if the TV was a window. And
immediately I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. Having a window behind you is already
immediately I don't
freaking
like that.
Scary.
You know, when I was younger, sorry, let me take a little...
I thought you don't have any spooky stuff.
Gonna make this about me. No, it's not anything spooky, but when I was younger, like I said, I literally been watching true crime since I was like 10 years old. And it's not that I wouldn't get scared of it. I would get scared. I would get terrified of it, but I couldn't stop watching it. But I got so scared to the point where I literally wouldn't sleep in my bed anymore because I was scared something was underneath. So I like to sleep on the floor and like actually look under my bed and make sure nothing was there.
What the heck?
What?
What? No, that's 1,000% worse. I thought you were going to say you were going to go sleep with your parents or something. No.
Well, the thing is that I watch, and I don't know what true crime case this is, but there's a true crime case where this kid like killed this little girl because he was like playing with her and he like hit her head really hard, and then he like stuffed her under his bed and he didn't tell his parents, and so I kept getting really freaked out about that, just thinking of that little girl like under the bed. And so I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. And so I would sleep under the floor. And I guess, like you said, I guess I can see how that'd be worse. But for me, I was like, I need to see.
You're staring.
I need to see what's in here. And also, like, I would not sleep in my bed if it wasn't against a wall. I couldn't do it if it wasn't against the wall, much less a window. Like, it had to be up against a wall, like not just the backboard, but like a side. Yeah, that's when I started sleeping in my bed again because I got my parents to move it to like against a window. I mean, not a window, against a wall where I could have my back to the wall and actually see.
Was this at your first house or your second house? Like, is it the house I've been to?
Oh no, this was when I was like young.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, continue. I just wanted to.
That's funny because when we lived in the apartment when we first got married, you had your bed in the corner of the room. Where? At the apartment.
Oh yeah.
The bed.
Yeah, that's no coincidence. Yeah, I mean, I was living on my own, so obviously I was not having it anywhere near anything.
You weren't sleeping on the floor, staring under the bed?
No. I think I got to a point where I kind of forgot about the case. Well, not forgot about it, but you kind of get over it. You know?
That's actually insane.
I mean, I can see how it is, but
no. Anyways,
go ahead.
So yeah, there was a window behind us, behind the bed, and my brother and I shared a bed. I was 3 at the time. He was 6, and we wake up, and the TV's in front of us, and all we see is this big silhouette of a hand, and
like
it's
on the TV.
On the TV, and so we're like, "Oh, the TV's on. Let me try and turn it off." Nothing. It was already off. It wouldn't even turn on or off. It was just not working.
Oh my gosh.
And you could still see the silhouette of the hand, and it was going like this, and it was getting bigger and bigger,
like reaching towards
you.
Kind
of like, you see how there's a shadow. It was like that,
but it was like reaching towards
it was reaching towards us, and it was getting bigger and bigger. It seemed like it was coming out of the screen, and we're getting scared. I'm getting chills right now. And for a split second, I'm like, okay, maybe it's some kids from the neighborhood trying to scare us, making a silhouette from the window behind us.
Yeah.
So when we look behind us, nothing. It wasn't even sunny. We had the blinds or the curtains closed. It was cloudy out there anyways. There was no one behind us, and the hand just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
What?
Reaching out for us. I swear it's true. Like, we both remember this.
I was going to say, does your brother remember it too?
We both remember this. The same details, but just different point of view. creeps me out. And so we yell for our grandma, and my grandma would always wake up before us, and she'd be praying. She's a very religious person, and so she'd be praying the rosary, and we're like, abuelita, grandma in Spanish, abuelita, abuelita. And she'd come running in there with a rosary. She's like, what's going on? What? As soon as she would walk in there, the shadow disappeared.
Crazy.
But that's the first instance. Then the second day, the following day, we wake up. We wake up, and immediately when I woke up, I looked at the TV. Perfectly fine. No hand this time. And then we look over to our door that's shut, and it's at like, TV's over here, the door's right there.
Like the room door?
Yeah. And it's shut.
Mm-hmm.
And all we see is this pointy, shadowy figure, silhouette of a person.
Absolutely not.
Like, their hands were very pointy.
Yeah. Their
feet were pointy. And they were wearing like a hat. I don't know how to explain the hat. It was like a... I wouldn't say a cowboy hat, but it had like an indentation in the middle.
Okay.
All a silhouette. I could vividly see it right now. It's scaring me. And it starts walking across the door, across this side wall, getting closer to us. Starts reaching out his hand, and we're terrified. We yell at the top of our lungs, Abuelita! Abuelita! She comes running in again, with her rosary, because it was around the same time. But this time she sees it. She saw it. I'm getting so many goosebumps, you don't understand. She saw it.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, ay Dios mío, oh my God, what is this? And she just starts praying. She already had the rosary. She starts praying and going all like this. And it starts walking slowly away from us. And it starts going down the hall. All through a wall the whole time. Down a hall. And we had this like, in like a lot of Hispanic houses in Latin America, Central America and whatnot, they have like a courtyard.
Yeah.
We had a courtyard in this house, and it starts going over there. And so my grandma's like, no, I'm going to follow this thing and keep praying and whatnot until it's gone. It starts going over there, and we get up and we're like, all right, let's go see what's going on. We see the moment it touched the sun, it just disappeared.
What?
I'm getting so many goosebumps.
Oh my gosh. See, these are the type of things I wish would happen to me.
Yeah, no. But that's not it. Then we moved to the States. I was 3 also when we moved to the States.
Oh my gosh.
And I was...
Not it following you.
Oh, yes. I was 3 when we moved to the States. Lived in a trailer park. And then when we moved to the apartment, I was maybe 4. Mm-hmm. 4 or 5. We moved to the apartment. We had absolutely nothing in the apartment yet. I mean, we grew up poor, so we didn't really have any furniture for the longest time. And what we did was we slept in my parents' room, which they decided, being good parents that they are, they took the smaller room and they let us have the main, the main room? Master bedroom. Dang, couldn't think of it. The master bedroom. But we slept in their room until we started getting furniture. So for the longest time we slept in their room. But this is maybe a week or 2 into being in the apartment. Mm-hmm. And we would sleep on the floor, just a bunch of blankets, all sleep on the floor, all 4 of us together. And then one night, my brother wakes up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, screaming. We're like, what's going on? And there was a rat on him. And so there was rat problems that we had in the apartment. Mm-hmm. And there was a rat on him. My dad, I don't know if he killed it or took it out or something. Okay, cool. And then we're like, all right, well, now I'm awake. I need to use the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And
you?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm a little scared. Can you come with me, Dad? And he's like, yes, I'll go. And so we go out our room, go up the hall, go to the bathroom that's on the left. He comes with me, turns on the light. I use the bathroom. He's like, all right, well, I got to use the bathroom too. So I wait for him. He uses the bathroom. And he's finishing up. So then I open the door of the bathroom. And across the door, or across the bathroom, is the laundry room. Mm-mm. And that was the only thing that we actually had, was the washer and dryer. Mm-hmm. And on top of the washer was that dang shadow.
Not on top.
On top of it. Just sitting on top of it. And he was staring at me like this. Kind of like the thinker. He was just like this.
Ooh, I don't like that.
And my dad saw it, and he does not remember this, but I swear on everything, my dad saw it. He freaked out. Immediately went to turn on the light in the laundry room, disappeared.
Crazy.
And there's so many more instances that I saw it when still in the apartment. I woke up in the middle of the night. Our bathroom in the main bedroom was there was a problem with the toilets or something. I don't remember. It wasn't working, so we had to use my parents' bathroom, which was a separate one, not in the room. And so I had to go in the same bathroom that's across from the laundry room.
Yeah.
And so I had to go over there. And on my way, I opened the door for our bedroom to go out into the hallway to go to the bathroom. As soon as I opened the door, I could see all the way at the very end in the living room the shadow again, but this time sitting on the couch. And again, he was just there like that, staring at me.
Oh my god.
And there's a switch in the hallway that turns on both, kind of like in our house, it turns on both the hallway and the living room light. So I turned it on, disappeared.
Wow.
And I would see it multiple times in the apartments, at our windows.
Did you ever see him at your house?
Yes.
Like your house now? Really?
Yeah, where my parents live?
Yeah.
Yes. There was a time that I had a couple friends over. Maxie, I know you're listening. I'm pretty sure you were there. And my brother. And we're in my room. And then we're like, you know what? Let's go get McDonald's or something. It was late at night, middle of the night, back when McDonald's was like 24/7.
Mhm.
Well, let's go get McDonald's. All right, cool. And I shut off the light because I was the last person to leave the room. And we go out, get in the car. As soon as I close the car, because I usually would always be the one driving. As soon as I close the car door, my light in my room turned on. And we were home alone. My parents weren't there. They were on vacation. It was just my brother, myself, and Maxie. And the light turned on. And I was like, Maxie, did you go back in the room and turn on the light or something? He's like, no. I swear it was off. And then I see the shadow.
Ooh,
Through
like
the
in the window?
through the curtains.
I don't like that.
Yeah, through the curtains. And it was and I don't know if Maxie remembers seeing him or not. I don't know if he said something. I don't remember anything. I just remember that. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I just backed out, went to McDonald's. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm pretty sure that was the last time I saw him. I haven't seen him since I moved over here.
Yeah.
Since we've been married or anything like that. I haven't seen him at all.
Well, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Or maybe not.
But you know what's scary?
What?
Us. We saw, or was it with my brother? No, we saw, what was it? A show on Netflix that talked about like these horror stories, and it was a Latin American one. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It was called like Horror or something like that.
Oh, Haunted.
Mm-hmm. And it was a Latin American one season. Mm-hmm. And they mentioned seeing a shadow, a pointy shadow with a hat. And they described it exactly the same way.
Gosh.
And so then I started doing research.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have seen this. Like, I'm pretty sure if you go Google pointy silhouette or shadow with a hat, demon or whatever spirit, people describe the same thing I've seen.
No way.
And that is the creepiest part of this story, honestly.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah.
No, it's honestly, it's the
That's
scariest
terrifying.
thing. Like, knowing that other
Holy
people
moly.
see this is more scary. It's scarier than just thinking that it's something that's happening to me only.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's scarier.
I can't tell.
Because it kind
I'm
of
like thinking about it and I'm like, I don't know how, if it had happened to me, I feel like I would feel a little bit of comfort and being like, okay, I'm not the only one, I'm not crazy. But then at the same time, like, I see what you mean, where it's creepier because it's like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, like it kind of made it a fact almost. Like, this is legit. This is real. This happens to other people.
Yeah.
We all see the same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, Latin America's crazy.
Yeah, for real.
It's crazy. Like, what they show on TV is crazy. The stories are crazy. Pretty sure Haunted Land in America is probably like a million times crazier than normal haunted.
No, for real.
But
that's one personal story I had. I try to not think about that one a lot because it honestly scares me a lot. It's really creepy. But speaking of the house that my parents lived at,
Okay.
or live at, / I
Currently?
lived at
Yeah.
currently, I have a urban legend that I found that segues into another personal story that I encountered at the house that I haven't told you about this.
I'm already scared.
And it's honestly, so let me take a little sip.
The water tastes better in the unfolding hour mugs.
Oh, yes it does. Okay. So this one is called, this urban legend is about stick Indians. And it's basically, stick Indians are just these tall, giant humans. And when they say Indians, they mean Native Americans that you see out in a lot of Indian land, Native American lands.
Okay.
That people see. And there's been a lot of like people go missing around these areas, and people have had encounters with them saying, oh yeah, I saw them, while hiking or while camping and stuff like that.
Immediately no.
So this is a story about them, about one encounter. It was New Year's Eve 1991. My wife and I were walking to Boulder Cave, which is in Washington State, around 8 or 9 p.m. It was a clear, brilliant night with crisp stars but no moon. We had flashlights and warm clothes, heading to meet friends and celebrate. Sober though, having all of us met in AA a few years prior. Back then, the cave was open year-round. As we made our way up the darkened trail, we heard distant children's voices, laughing, yelling, playing, like a schoolyard, out in the middle of nowhere. But in the middle of the forest, is what it says. We tried to rationalize it, but there were no signs of anyone else around. The sound had an eerie, consistent quality, fading in and out as we stopped to listen. We kept hearing it haunting us up the trail. Do you hear that? We would ask each other, puzzled. At the cave, we told our friends about it, but soon forgot, enjoying our night with flutes, new age music, candles, and deep discussions until the early morning hours. The next day, the woods felt subtly ominous. On our way down, my wife spotted something odd against a tree. A small abstract figurine, intricately woven from sticks, moss, and lichen. It was unworldly, complex, and clearly meant to be found by us. The figurine was real, and it wasn't there on our way up. We found no tracks, no signs of anyone else. I took it home, examined it, but eventually threw it away, creeped out by its bad magic.
Oh, one of those.
What's up with the flames? Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Years later...
I didn't even notice it until you said it.
Yeah, no, that's creepy. Years later, that's actually really creepy.
I'm scared.
And you know how we...
Something about the Native American of it all.
Yeah, I know. And you know how we live in a city that's Native American-y?
Do we?
You know, a lot of the names of the town and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's very Native American-y. And for the flames to do that while I'm reading it? No. Years later, I recounted this to a Native American coworker. His reaction was intense. He told me we'd encountered stick Indians, a forbidden subject among natives. They lure victims with the sound of children, leading them into the forest where they get disoriented and lost.
Oh my god, this is literally what happened to us the other day.
What?
Remember when I was in the bathroom and we were outside? I thought that's where you were gonna go, but then I remembered that you said the story was pertaining to your house, and I'm like, well, didn't this literally happen at our house?
Oh my god, so guys.
A few days ago? Okay, so pause your story. So, when was this, like a week ago?
Uh-huh.
So literally a week ago, Pablo was putting our son to bed, and I was in the bathroom. I think I was just tidying up or whatever, and I kept hearing it was like a child, like not screaming, but almost just like a little bit like in pain. Sounded like a little bit like in pain.
Yeah, and you texted me that. I put him to
What
bed
I say,
and we
crying?
yeah.
I think I told you I heard a child crying.
I put him to bed, and normally when we put him to bed in his crib, we wait a little bit because sometimes he might wake up or a little bit or something like that. So I was sitting in the chair waiting, and I see your text message, and you said, "I just heard a little kid crying."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is she saying like our son?" I was like, "No, he's asleep."
Yeah. No, and so the bathroom I was in is upstairs, and it has a window to our backyard, and there's our backyard leads into the backyard of the house behind us, and they have kids, and their kids are usually sometimes in the yard, but at this point it was like 9
p.m.
so it was pretty late, and it was a weekday, pretty sure, so they had no reason to be out there. But I looked out the window and I didn't see them out there, but I kept hearing the noise, like it would happen. It happened like a good 6 or 7 times that I would hear it. So then Pablo comes in the bathroom, and I tell him, like, do you hear that? And I think eventually you did hear it. You heard like the last 3 or 4.
Yeah, at first I didn't hear anything, and then I heard something, and I'm like, that kind of sounds like a dog barking. Remember I said that?
Yeah.
And you were like, no, that's so... Because you said, I also hear them coughing. It sounded like a cough. I was like, no, it's just a dog barking. And then I heard it again and again, and it sounded a lot more like someone coughing, and then I would hear the kid crying or yelling. Right.
And then we realized that, like, the house in front of across the street from the house behind us, the people were
outside.
The people were outside, like, looking around their yard with, like, their flashlight. Like, they were hearing it too. And our next door neighbors next to us, they first of all, they're retired. They don't live there anymore, but they moved. No one's moved into their house yet. And then the other neighbors, they're retired, no kids. Like, I don't really think there's really any kids on our street besides like the ones that live across from us, but these were behind us.
Yeah.
And there was no kids out, nothing. So,
and then the fact that this town has a lot of Native American.
I know, I didn't really hit when you were saying that, and then when you started talking more about your story, I was like, wait, this literally happened. And I told you, remember, I was like, this is giving me vibes of like when people like try to
lure you out
there,
but not in a paranormal
help.
way, but
but like just, you know, if I don't know, you hear someone crying like on the side of the road and you stop to help, or you see someone in need, and then other people come out and mug you or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a human trafficking thing.
Right. Something crazy.
Or something like that.
So that's what I was thinking. But yeah, there was people out there like trying to investigate. And I guess we never really knew what happened. We just kind of went about our life and kind of forgot about that.
I'm legit going to have trouble sleeping now, knowing that is connected.
Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry. So they lure victims with the sound of children, leading them into the forest where they get disoriented and lost. Stick Indians are small, vicious, and cunning, living in deep forests, occasionally hard but never seen. They turn lost children into new Stick Indians through dark magic. Adults they lured out are presumed to be attacked and eaten. For years, I kept this to myself, respecting the mystery in indigenous beliefs. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe there's a logical explanation. But the kernel of truth at the center of legends is powerful. Like you were saying, legends always have some ounce of truth to them.
There's something there. That's why they started.
Exactly. They don't just start out of... It's not just an imaginary tale.
Because it would be called like a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it's fake, like you're like, oh, this story might, whatever. But when it's like a legend, it's like there's something there, you know?
And it just ends with saying, warn your children. Never follow the sound of playing children in the woods. They might get lost and never come back.
Oh my God.
And I did some more research about Stick Indians, and apparently you're never supposed to bring it up in Native American lands, and never bring them up to any Native American. It's supposed to be horrible bad luck for them, and it's like a curse putting on their tribe, that you're putting a curse on their tribe, and to never bring it up.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
I'm scared.
And so while I was doing research of that, I already had this next story that I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that I've never told you about, that happened at the house my parents were living at. And it wasn't until I was researching this that I made a connection, kind of like we just did with the child yelling or screaming or whatever. And yeah, let me get right into it because it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So I wrote some things down just because I want to make sure I have the story down to a T.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably be referencing it, but I have most of it by memory. So my house at the time was a new neighborhood. I've told you this before. It was a new neighborhood. There was maybe 20 houses at the time that were built, and you've seen it now. There's like 150 houses, but we saw they had a plan, and it showed all the plots of lands that they were gonna build houses onto, and it said it was supposed to be 250 or something like that. So a lot of houses, and it's a huge amount of land. But before, it used to be just a huge forested area, just woods. And so they cut it down, make all these houses. And with that being said, I was at home one night. I don't remember what day of the week it was or anything like that, but I remember it was late. It was like 10 or 11 p.m. Just watching YouTube or something on TV.
You're by yourself?
No.
Oh, well, okay.
But it was late, so people were asleep, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. And I was just watching YouTube or something, and then I'm sitting in my room. I'm upstairs, and I hear some man yelling in the distance.
Nope.
Yeah. And I'm like, did I hear that correctly? And then I hear it again. I'm like, what is that? And so I peek out my window, because my window in my bedroom is facing forward of the house, and so it's facing out to all the other houses that are being built or have been built and are being built, and into the forested area that hasn't been touched yet.
Yeah.
And at the forested area, there's like this little dead end that turns into a gravel dead end that leads into the forest. And that's where this man was, yelling. He had his pickup truck backed into it, and he's yelling not at the pickup truck or in my direction. He's yelling
at the forest?
Into the forest.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, he's yelling into the forest. And I'm like, what is he yelling? And so I open up the window a little bit so I can hear it better. And it wasn't like a yell of like pain or anything like that. It was more like a commanding yell, like he was commanding someone something. And all I heard was just no, but off in the distance. And a couple seconds later is where I really get really creeped out, and I didn't know if I should maybe call the cops or what. But spoiler alert, I didn't call the cops, which I probably should have. I don't know.
In hindsight, you're like, what?
But a couple seconds after he starts screaming, no, I hear even further in the forest, so even further away, muffled, but it was louder somehow, a little girl screaming. Ooh. And like it was like a death scream. They were screaming at the top of their lungs, and like I said, it was somehow louder, even though you could clearly tell it was coming from further in the forest.
Yeah.
And so then
that did it. Okay, that's gonna be it for us today. Thank you for joining us here at the Unfolding Hour. We'll see you next time.
Bye. No, and so that's when I'm getting creeped out. Like I said, I'm like, maybe I should call 911. And I actually pulled out my phone and I was like, dial 911 just in case something happened.
Yeah.
I want to have it ready. And then I hear the guy or the man shout again saying, stay over there.
Also, our light just went out and it came back on.
That's scary. I don't want to. Okay.
Our porch light.
Something's going on. I don't like doing this episode anymore. But I hear him shout again. He's like, stay over there. Get back. And this time it sounded like he was scared. It wasn't commanding and all tough like he was earlier when he was yelling no. It was like, you could hear it. He was like, stay over there. Get back. And he ran back to open his truck door. And out came a dog. So he had his dog with him. And immediately as he takes his dog out, starts barking and growling. And he starts walking into the forest with his dog. I'm like, what is going on? And all I can see, the only reason I can see this is because of his taillights.
Yeah.
And he goes into the forest with his dog and disappears for like, I don't know. It felt like forever. but it was like, what, maybe 10, 15 seconds. And then I heard the girl scream again, louder. I'm like, is he killing someone? What is happening? And so then I hear her scream again. And not even like 2 or 3 seconds later, the man and his dog just start running back. I see him coming out of the forest, running to his car, to his truck. Gets in, he floors it. And we have 2 stop signs on the way out of our neighborhood.
Yeah.
He did not care. He kept going. He went, honestly, kid you not, he went from like 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds. And did not stop. Immediately went. I saw him because I went to the other. We have our upstairs family room that has windows that lead to the back. Or can see out back, and I saw him just leave onto the interstate, booked it. And then when I was remembering that story, I remembered that was the first year we were at the house. And in the first year we were at the house, that summer was my graduation year.
Yeah.
And graduation night, I had a bunch of friends come over. We had a little bonfire at the house, and then we were like, you know what? Let's go into the forest.
Because why not?
Well, when we first moved to the house, there was this old man, sweet old man, but he came by, he gave us a little flyer. He gave it to me specifically because I think I was the only one home. And he was like, hey, here's this little flyer. It's a map of this trail that I made all over the forest. I'm like, this old man made a trail over the forest. That's a little creepy. But I was like, okay, whatever. He's like, and if you go here, there's a gazebo. It's a whole opening. There's a little bonfire pit that I've made. And so we were like, you know what, why not? We're little 17, 18-year-olds. We're like...
looking for a good time.
Yeah, we're like, let's go out there. I mean, we were never doing anything crazy. We were never those type of kids. Like, bad is what I meant. Because I guess going into the woods at like 9 p.m. is kind of crazy. But we're like, all right, let's start going over there. And this is back in the day where Snapchat... Well, I guess Snapchat is still really big. We just don't use it. But I had a friend that wanted to record everything on Snapchat. Everything. And so we're going in there, and there's a lot of webs and all this stuff. We get to the clearing where there's the gazebo and the bonfire pit. We try and start a fire. We start the fire, and some of us wanted to go a little bit deeper. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go in deeper. And they're like, no, Pablo, this is your neck of the woods. Literally, like, you know this place. You go first. I was like, no, I'm okay. You can go. You lead the way. And so he starts leading the way. The guy that wanted to record everything on Snapchat, he starts leading the way. And then we hear a little girl scream. And we book it back. Get out of the forest. And immediately I was like, okay, who was that? Because I felt like someone was pranking us.
Yeah.
And then... my friend was like, no, it wasn't me. And someone else was like, okay, no, it was you, though. I know it was you. You're trying to prank us. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. And then my friend that had recorded everything on Snapchat plays it back. And you can literally hear a little girl screaming. And it was deep in the forest. It was in front of us. So he's recording. It's clearly coming from in front of us, not behind us. Because he was first. Everyone else was behind him.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing I heard that night. That man heard that night.
My
it was
goodness.
It's the scariest thing ever. Scariest thing ever. And we've gone back into the forest several times.
Yeah.
But never at night. Never again at night. We never heard
Is
it again.
that forest still there? Or
No.
the house?
No. Oh, it's where my brother lives.
Because that's what I was gonna say. Like I felt like
I forgot.
There's some. Well, remember he has the conjuring tree in front of his house.
Oh my God.
So Pablo's brother has a tree. Well, it's not really in the front. It's kind of to the side of his
house. Yeah, a little bit to
to
the side.
It's literally the tree from The Conjuring.
It's the exact same tree.
Everything about it. So why was that tree spared out of all? Because there's no other trees, isn't that
That's
like the only
true.
tree?
That's the only tree there.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, if there's like haunted grounds, haunted forest, but then you tear down the forest and you build a house, I felt like.
Yeah, well, there was
not be
rumors that there was a cemetery there before.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true or not. I couldn't find anything about it. But this was in Virginia, close to Newmarket. I'm kind of doxing myself. Newmarket, which I don't know if you know. I'm a big history buff, but I don't know if you know. But in Newmarket, there was a huge Civil War battle.
Really?
Huge. It's like one of the main battles in the Civil War, like a huge turning point.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's what I'm talking about. I've never had anything like that happen to me.
No.
No, never. And I'm like, I wish that would happen to me, but I know I talk a big game, but the second that would happen, I would shoot me out of there.
You can't even go into haunted houses.
Okay, but that's different.
I guess
like
so,
a real
people
haunted
are
house,
really trying to scare
like
you.
a real one where people are like, oh yeah, like
Actually,
the Stanley
that's true.
Hotel. I'll stay at the Stanley Hotel all day long. Yeah. Crescent Hotel, same thing. Everything down for it. Fake haunted house. Like my thing is jump scares. I can't do jump scares.
They're trying to scare you.
I can't do jump scares. That I can't do. Like
Fair.
I can't do that. But anything supposedly haunted, I'm down. Let's do it. But like I said, I mean, I talk a big game, but you never know. But I guess it's also because deep down inside, I kind of am a little bit of a skeptic where I'm like, really? Something really gonna go bump in the night? Something really gonna, spook me? I know it happens, but for some reason, like I know deep down, I'm like, I always, I guess, think that it's not gonna happen to me. I'm like, it's never gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I did not know that story. You never told me that story.
Yep. And I think it's just that I didn't forget about it. Well, I did forget about it, but I don't know. Somehow it reminded me of it. Just thinking about this episode, I was like, oh, we're going to talk about, do I have any personal stories? And I thought about the shadow that follows me. But then I was like, no, but there has to be something that's not paranormal that happened to me. It's like, I couldn't think of anything. And that happened. It hit me. I was like, oh my God. I woke up my dad and he came up and watched with me. And
the man?
Yeah, the man. And that's why I ended up not calling the police, because we were just like, you know what, let's not even get involved.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
And I think I have a couple other stories that I could tell, but that's, future episodes.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like yours were a lot scarier than mine.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I wanted to go last, because they were just oof.
Yeah.
Too good.
They're
but
like with mine, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yours, I'm a little bit like, okay, we're gonna have a little trouble going to sleep today.
No, definitely. Especially the connections that we just made. No.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
If any of you guys have any kind of paranormal or spooky or scary encounters, literally anything like that, just leave it in the comments. Send it to our email.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be anything long or crazy. Like, I just want to know.
Yeah, anything. Any personal encounter that you've had.
Like, I live for this, okay?
Literally. Put it in our subreddit, The Unfolding Hour. Go to TikTok or whatever it may be.
Any little legends, too, from your towns.
Yes, we
love
that.
That aren't super known, I'm really interested in that. I've recently been really into that.
Yeah.
So let us know. Yeah. Let us know if you want us to cover it or just even give us information. We'll look into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it's just for our personal pleasure.
Yeah.
That's the word. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this fun little Friday the 13th episode. I actually, fun fact, I checked. I don't know if I checked very thoroughly. I think I did, but the next Friday the 13th isn't going to be until like March, I think.
Wow.
Of 2025. So it's going to be a little while. Boo.
She's already starting a countdown.
I really am. I'm like literally going to start thinking of what to talk about. But no, we'll do little spooky episodes every now and then. Yeah. I feel like I have to. It's just, it's
and I like urban legends a lot, and like local legends and folklores and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always going to be something like that sprinkled in at least every single episode.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
but like a full episode that's dedicated to that
English is
words,
hard. Mm-hmm.
Is gonna be a little while probably.
Yeah,
maybe not. We'll see.
But thank you for joining us in this spooky ookie episode. Friday the 13th.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye guys.